Hello, wonderful Terry Fox Run organizers. This is Martha. I'm Provincial Director in Ontario. I'm talking today on behalf of my wonderful colleagues across Canada as we introduce to you a very exciting new tool that's been developed to help you in the incredible, amazing, wonderful role you play as our Terry Fox Run organizer across Canada. It is called the Terry Run Organizer Toolkit. It's an online project management tool. We realized a little while ago that you have an incredible job. We didn't realize that part. We knew that part for 38 years, the role that you play in Terry's mission and his legacy. We bow down to you for that kind of contribution to the health and wellness of all of us. But we realize that we really provide you with a lot of paper, a lot of great ideas, but again, all on paper. So we thought that now it's maybe a time that we introduce a little bit more of a sophisticated online tool that allow you to track your volunteers, track your suppliers, excitingly put together your calendar of events, make sure that you have things lined up, assign tasks. It just seems too good to be true. Having worked here for a long time, it is the most exciting thing I've seen come down the pike in terms of Terry Fox Run Organizer items that we can give you. The credit for this goes to three people, really. Don Chapman and Pat Boyd, who are Terry Fox Run organizers here in Ontario. They really understood the concept when we started talking about providing organizers with really, really useful tools to do the job that you sign up for. It's a labor of love, and we'd like to make it less about labor and more about love. And the remarkable Dale Marthala, who is the programmer of this, has come on a completely voluntary basis and has led us, what I think, out of the darkness into the light, I like to think. So thank you so much to those three fantastic people who are going to be with us as we evolve this remarkable project management tool. So really it came to be because we had a few issues that we really wanted to address in terms of the volunteer work that organizers do. We wanted to have an opportunity to share ideas, share knowledge. It's an incredible base of brilliance out there, and we wanted to make sure everyone had access to it. Improve the experience for both of our organizers and our participants in a Terry Fox Run. Reduce your workload, which we know is huge, and the complexity of your workload, and actually think about succession planning as well, which seems like a strange thing to talk about because we're so grateful for the work that you do, but we know that what's important for the future of the foundation is making sure that we have more of you and that you pass things on. So ultimately it's to raise more money for cancer research, just like Terry asked us to. So that's a little bit of a quick introduction to this. I really wanted to walk through this fantastic toolkit with you, just to give you an overview so you can start playing around and get a sense of what's involved. We have linked it up on our website, which I'm sure you've been on. There's a great Run Organizer resource section here. This is where we're going to come to access the online site. Here's a little clicker here, a little button, the Toolkit login. You'll click on it here. As you can see, I'm actually already logged in, so I'm just going to exit in and exit out. I just want to show you this. So here you'll see a little login button. The first time you sign in, you can use your email address that has been sent to you with this video from the provincial director in your region. You'll use that, but you won't have a password. What you'll do is you'll type in your email address and you'll click forgot your password. You're then going to get an email from the system that will allow you to click on a link and it'll take you in and you can set your own password and you'll enter in to your very own run site. So I'm going to access my run site. I'm very excited. The wonderful Dale created one for me that I find very entertaining, if that's okay to say. It's called Marthaville. Thank you, Dale. So this is the wonderful, simple, I think accessible home screen for our Terry Fox Run Organizers Toolkit, as you can see it up here. Very simply, it tells you what province you're in, what your run site is, and I'll just run through a couple of these, the visual functions on the home page, and then we can go into a couple of the actual functionality of those. You can see that there's a to-do action section here. We'll click on that so you can see how remarkable that is. I think it's one of the most exciting parts of this program, where you can add your own tasks, but also work off tasks that others have established with respect to the best practices, really, of a Terry Fox run. This resource section, we're hoping we are going to populate it with a lot of great information coming out of the run sites across Canada. Some of this will obviously be based on foundation contribution, and some will be different. There's a wonderful, what we think is going to be really wonderful, a discussion thread. So you can post questions, you can post a comment, maybe you need some encouragement, maybe you want to encourage someone else, and the organizers can link in here and have a discussion about it. Then, also very, very helpful, there are 3 different types of contact record levels. There's the run contact, which you'll see is your run, just contact records for your run. They could be volunteers, committee members, suppliers. Provincial contacts, which are all your fellow organizers in your province, in your region. And then all contacts are across Canada, of course. And I will show you that you can set, if you have privacy issues, which we totally understand and we've planned for that, we'll show you how you can set those privacy so you can only see. And then, of course, right now, Marthaville had no teams last year, which I'm very embarrassed about. But you can see that we'll have populated your website, or actually your, I don't know really, I guess it's a website page, with the teams from last year and the previous year as well. And you'll see that you can access them and see how much they raised. So very simply, that is your home page. What we look forward to is you getting in there and playing around. I've been playing around with this for a couple of weeks, and every day I sort of see something that's more exciting and fun to do. So the first thing you'll do when you come on is there's a little Run Organizer menu. There's a section here that says My Run and My Fundraising Options. So when you click on it here, you can see very simply there's a little bit of details about your address. You don't really have to fill in all the address information or geocode. But this is where I think what's quite exciting about this is we've established what we call complexity levels. And if you see when I click on this, you've got low, medium, and high. And that is completely up to the Run Organizer to select. As you'll get more comfortable with the system, you'll see that if you select low, there'll be a certain set of tasks that you can work in. Sometimes if you have an extra task, you can add that in manually. But it sometimes depends, we realized, doesn't really mean a complexity level, doesn't mean the size of your population or even how much your run site raises. It could be a whole raft of issues, like if you need to work with city officials on police or marshalling, if you have a lot of city permits that you need to deal with, if there's a certain level of complexity that might not reflect perhaps the size of your community. And there's some big communities that have very, very simple runs. So we wanted you to be able to set that. So when you sign in, this will not be set. It'll obviously be the in is active will be clicked off. So you can set this. We are working actually on you being able to, if you set it right now, you will see that level of complexity. If you ramp up, you will see more of it, but you can't currently ramp down. So if you start at high complexity and think it's too much, when we go to the to-do list, you'll see that there's a whole lot of headings. Those headings won't change, but we'd like your feedback on how you would like to structure that and the flexibility in moving back and forth. We've also done some fundraising options. Now, the first one you'll see, this is the Terry Fox Run. So you are going to want to click the Terry Fox Run. That will give you a series of to-dos, best practices in the to-do list. And then what we've done is we've asked organizers, and we'd like to continue to populate this. And we know we have some brilliant creative minds out there. We asked some organizers to provide us with some structures for some fun special event fundraisers. And this could be about raising the profile of the run before. This could be about literally raising more money for your run. I mean, you can see them here: a beer store bottle drive, a bra auction, grocery bagging fundraiser, hot dog barbecue, trail ride. Some of them are a little bit more about promotion, like using banners or reaching out to businesses, engaging teams. So you can click on these as you would like. And it's a great way for you to be able to have some more tasks and, more importantly, assign them to people who actually are passionate about those. We know that there's in Tecumseh a lady who loves books, and the run organizer found her and assigned her a book sale, and it has just taken off. And it's because she loves to do it. The run organizer has nothing to do with it except she shows up, they sell some t-shirts, and they make sure they promote the run. So when you select some additional, if you want to select some additional fundraising options, just don't forget to hit update, and also then come back and hit generate the to-dos. That was what will populate this section, the next section we're going to talk about. So that's really the first thing that you want to do. The second thing I kind of think you might want to do is create your contact list based on your, for example, your committee. We're hoping that every organizer has a committee, 3 or 4 people that are there to take the load off, because we know it's a huge job. So adding a new contact, very, very simple. The name, the email. This is my husband, Peter. I made sure that I put him into Marthaville because I wanted him to work hard. An email address. You'll establish a password, which I think make it something simple like Terry Fox and the number of your Terry Fox run or something. So if you're Terry Fox 103, Terry Fox BC 1082, something like that. And that way you can tell the your committee members what their passwords are, so when they sign back in, they can actually come back in, of course, and change it later, but they know what it is. You can select your run ID, so that means that person will show up under your contact list. There's some functions, as you can see: volunteers, suppliers, committee members, etc., their address, when they joined. Here again is the permission level. So if they're a volunteer, they'll only see a certain level of information on this screen. And again, here's the issue about privacy. So the visibility here. And they can be visible just to your run, to the province, or to everyone. And then, of course, don't forget to hit is active and then create. So you can quickly create a great little group of volunteers. And of course, the reason you want to create them is so that you can assign them tasks. Less work for you. Shared work is halved work. I don't think that's the correct way of saying it, but I believe that that's true. So that's an exciting part. Of course, finally, you can have all of your volunteers in the system, and when you assign a task, they will get an email. They can come in, they can update their task, and it will be a glorious party of accomplishment. So the profile, as we talked about, it's just here. This is your own personal profile. Again, you don't have to be visible to everyone in your region or to the country. If you'd like to just maintain this as a very internal system, you certainly can do that. The resources we talked a little bit about, there's not that much there right now. I think policies and guidelines, organizer handbook, the discussion. It's a really cute little section here. So easy to ask a new question, and they're simple. How do I get insurance for my city? Help. So the big part here really is the to-dos, and this is what I'm super excited about. Dale wonderfully, when I told him that I was tired of scrolling down, he very kindly created a little button up here. So you can see immediately by hiding all the details, you can see the headers. And the headers are very simple: planning, site design, route design. Again, this is where you get the sense that the complexity of the run. You do not have to do all of this. You can pick and choose, and that is really the joy of this program, we believe. Call in the clowns, for example. And what's also exciting is as you assign tasks, let's assign a task to my husband, for example. My husband's been doing the pylons for my dad's run site since when did we start dating? 1989. So he's always up at 5 a.m. So I think, let me see what would maybe attached to him. I think we're going to do this. He's going to do the teardown and the setup. So this is in one of the. So there's 4 sections. One of them is called execute. The great thing about this is that you can make sure you don't sleep in. When it's due, it's of course due the run day on this pad. This is up to you completely when they're due. You can do them so that they coincide with a committee meeting, a week before the run, a month before the run. This is where you assign it. It's as simple as that. It's open because it's a currently open system. And now you hit update, and what's going to happen is I don't have Pete's Gmail open here, but he is going to get a really nice little email saying that you have had something assigned to you by the Marthaville Terry Fox run. He will of course be very delighted to receive that. And if we go back down, we can see how easy it is now to see that Peter has had a task assigned to him. Where do you go? Oh, I think I've selected maybe site design. There he is. There's Peter Coster. The status, Peter now will be able to come in and he'll be able to update his status. He can also attach, this is really fantastic, he can attach a new note, meaning let's say that he gets the pylons from Toronto Hydro, he has to have a letter. He can attach the letter to this, letter of approval from Hydro. And now this letter will always be attached to your site. I'm not actually attaching anything, so I won't finish it, but it'll always be attached to your site, and that will be an amazing repository for all the documents, insurance, approvals, thank you letters, photos even if you want. So that's fantastic. I love that. The other thing I love is when Peter comes onto the website, when he clicks in from his email link, he will be able to go right to the select filter. As an organizer, you can actually see everything. You can see all the tasks, the unassigned tasks, the overdue tasks. But Peter can come right to the tasks assigned to him, and he can see right away that he has how many tasks he has. He clearly does not have enough tasks. We have to give Peter more tasks, but he can come in, he can mark it closed, canceled, done. He can add in whatever he wants. So that is, I think, a fantastic functionality. It allows your committee to be really responsible for things, and you don't have to actually hover over people's shoulders wondering what's getting done. So that's wonderful. The last thing about the to-dos is we know that you are going to have different type of to-dos. Nobody has the same kind of tasks for every single run site. There's some basics, but there's some different ones. So for example, we put in one, for example, it's really easy to add a new task. You just type in new task for Martha. And with a due date, you assign it to Martha, and you've done leave it open. So you have to actually put in what it is. Get Peter to do more. And you have to put in, obviously, when's it due? Well, of course, I'd like Peter to have it due tomorrow if possible. So I'm going to do that. So now here's a new task for Martha. It really should say for Peter. But that's how easy it is to add your own tasks in. And that makes it customizable in a way that will allow you to use it and stretch it as far as you can. So that's really a very, very brief overview of what this system can do. It's even more powerful than what I've shown you. And the exciting thing is this is what we like to think of as version 1. It's going to become better and more usable and more functional and more brilliant with your feedback. So we'd love to have you look at it as, we know it's July, we're introducing it a little bit late, but we'd love to have you play around with it at the very least. Try and think of maybe even using it this year. If there's time, if you think you can make it happen, share it with your committee. We really, really want feedback. That's very, very important for us. If you take a look at the bottom of the screen here, the wonderful, let me go to the home page. Dale, our wonderful Dale, there's a calendar too, which is fantastic. We haven't really even gone through that. Here is Dale's email. In the email as well that you'll receive, there's an email also. Don Chapman has also offered his considerable skill to help us evolve this system. So there's 2 people that you can call on when you have problems, technical, when you run into errors, glitches. We've, of course, beta tested this, but we really need your help to make it even more robust. So thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me. Thank you for the incredible, marvelous people that you are. As Terry Fox Run organizers, we think the sun, the moon, and the stars shine from you. And if this system helps in any way, shape, or form, you do the job that makes a difference in every single person's life, then we will feel like we've done our job. Thank you so much, Terry Foxers, and we look forward to great usage and great feedback. Take care.